there, everyone. Welcome back to another episode of Day to Day, the podcast where we explore the joys and challenges of everyday life. I'm Emma.
And I'm Alex. Whether it's personal growth, navigating relationships, or just tackling the chaos of the day, we're here to talk about it all and hopefully help you along the way.
So grab your coffee, tea, or whatever keeps you going.
And let's dive into today's episode.
Today, we're diving into a topic that's been garnering a lot of attention lately: self-love, but with a twist. Have you ever wondered if the things we do in the name of self-care actually help us feel loved and cared for?
Right? It's this idea of pseudo self-care versus genuine self-care. Like when someone says, I'm practicing self-care, but it's really just about buying an expensive moisturizer they don't necessarily need.
Oh, totally. There's this belief that pampering yourself with material things equates to loving yourself. But if we dig deeper, it might not fulfill that emotional need we're craving.
Exactly. And a lot of this comes down to understanding what true self-care means. It's less about external actions and more about internal needs and how we respond to them.
That reminds me of a part in the article where they talk about emotional acceptance. It's about letting yourself feel emotions, whether it's joy or sadness, without judgment. That's genuine self-care, right?
Yes, it's funny because we often deny ourselves the opportunity to fully feel and process our emotions, thinking we need to keep it all together. But embracing those emotions can be so freeing.
There's a great point in the article about people being afraid to express emotions because of internalized criticism from childhood. That's a biggie. Many of us heard things like, "big boys don't cry," and it sticks with you.
True. That becomes this inner voice dictating how we should react emotionally. It takes a conscious effort to shift that pattern and begin accepting our emotions as they are.
And what do they call that practice of nurturing our emotions rather than stifling them? Was it something about self-parenting?
Yes, self-parenting. Essentially, it's about becoming the nurturing presence for ourselves that we might not have had in childhood. It involves caring for our inner child, that part of us holding on to childhood wounds.
It's so vital. Imagining yourself as your own child can shift how you approach self-care. We tend to be more compassionate to others than ourselves. Why not extend that kindness inward?
Absolutely. But how do we transform these ideas into daily practices, especially when it feels awkward or forced at first to treat ourselves kindly?
Great question. Maybe starting with small steps, like acknowledging our feelings throughout the day. It's simple, yet impactful, to pause and check in with ourselves mentally.
And asking ourselves questions like, what do I really need right now? Or am I doing this for me or to impress someone else? Can guide us toward genuine self-care.
Exactly. It might be as small as choosing to journal or call a friend to talk about emotions that are bothering you, rather than masking those feelings with distractions.
Yeah. And in the text, they mention a practice where you imagine rescuing your inner child during a moment of past hurt. It's intriguing how visualization can aid self-healing.
I read that too. It serves as a metaphorical safeguard, reminding us that we have the strength to protect and nurture ourselves, even if we didn't have that growing up.
And isn't the end goal to feel empowered in our own skin? There's something empowering in recognizing we can be our own heroes.
Yes, and giving ourselves permission to not always have it together is crucial. We should embrace our flaws and still choose to love every part of ourselves.
In the spirit of that, it's about understanding that loving ourselves doesn't mean always feeling great. It means accepting ourselves even when we don't.
Exactly. So, what's the takeaway here? Should people stop indulging in spa days if that's how they express self-care?
Not at all. If a spa day genuinely rejuvenates you internally, then great. It's about being mindful of whether these actions genuinely uplift your spirits or add pressure.
So for everyone listening, next time you contemplate whether a self-care action is right for you, think about whether it feeds your soul or just fills the hours.
Indeed, it's all about intentionality and kindness towards oneself. Let's be our own best friends and remember that self-love is a journey, not a destination.
Beautifully said. Well, it looks like our time is up. Thanks for tuning in, everyone. And remember to take a little extra time this week to truly care for who you are.
Yes, and maybe explore a bit more on what genuine self-care means to you. Until next time, take care.